others thought they had a big old set of wings with flowing robes that would never, never cling, and played on harps that had at least a dozen strings, and gathered up in groups to sing and sing and sing. But you look like these angels do.
Justin at 2.5 was diagnosed with PDD-NOS, which is on the autistic spectrum, and I just remember him just not speaking yet, saying small words, not really forming sentences. And so our pediatrician recommended us, after all the testing and reviews, when we got the call that finally said he is on the autistic spectrum, I just remember being devastated and going through about 1.5 years of a big depression of just how to figure it out, how to help my son, how to help him be better and functional. It completely affected our family. I think I was like 6-7 months pregnant at the time. I had already had another son. Justin wasn't 3 years old yet, and so it was a great chaos, because your whole life changes at that point. At that point, it becomes therapy after therapy, appointment after appointment. Justin was getting 15 hours worth of therapy, 5 hours, sometimes up to 5 hours a day, plus a nursery program at school. So it was a lot of running around. The reality, I guess maybe the biggest thing I remember was probably the day my son came home with a gift, with an in quotes gift from one of the kids in his class that drew a picture of him, wrote his name, said, in arrows, put Justin, and then put X's all over his face, all over the face of the picture, and gave it to my son as a gift. And my son came home very happy, thinking he made a friend, not understanding the complexity behind what just occurred. When Justin was little, when he was in Little Lambs, side by side didn't exist. And we had the privilege, we had a friend, Raquel, who just would volunteer every single week. She would always call me and ask me what service I was coming to, and she would stay with him. As what we know today as side by side, she would go into Little Lambs with him and just help him acclimate to the setting, help him learn when to sit, when to stand, when to, just to follow the routine of the class.
An angel look just like you.
Well, I think the impotence for Side by Side was we were getting an influx of kids that were children with special needs, and really the goal was to create a space for them, create a space where they're welcome, they're included, they're not excluded. And so what we started pulling on was just some therapists that actually do this for a living, whether it was a speech therapist, an occupational therapist, special education teachers, people that had background in this profession, and asked them if they would volunteer one service just to kind of shadow a child and help them within the classroom setting.
I don't believe it, but I've heard it said, to be an angel, well, then first you must be dead. No, you look like these angels do.
So we went from our side-by-side special needs program, which was a buddy system. So every kid had a buddy in their class, and they were integrated into the class with an adult buddy. We're taking it up 10 notches, and we're creating the Champions Club, where we created a room which is embarked by 2 areas. One is going to be a sensory side, the other one is going to be a strictly educational side. And in the sensory side is kids, it'll be a soft play area, there'll be a lot of interactive stuff, a lot of lights, a lot of things that the kids can touch and things that react to. On the spiritual side, it's just a sit-down time where the kids, we open up the Bible and we teach them God's Word.
Currently, we're using office space to accommodate the children, but it has limited space. It's not a child-proof room. And so just to even have the space for the kids to maneuver around is a little difficult. Like I have a little boy right now, he has some OT issues, PT issues, which are, physical therapy. And so he can trip a lot. And so whenever he trips, I always want to make sure that he's properly cushioned, and so I'll put pillows on the floor, but if he kind of rolls the wrong way, he can bang into the desk or things like that, or the radiator that's in the office. And so I'm definitely excited about the room that would accommodate, give him a little bit more space to get around. In our sensory area, we have a place that was just soft play, where the kids can crawl through and hop and jump, and it's all interactive playtime things. Behind me you see a thing called the Catherine wheel, where kids, they press a button and lights come up, and there's a visual stimulation. There's going to be fiber optics, there's going to be stuff kids can crawl on, there'll be giant ladybugs, there'll be rocking horses. I know it's going to be a lot of padding, which I'm very happy about. There'll be a musical hopscotch. A lot of padding, they can spread out, they can throw themselves on the floor, they can roll. There'll be fiber optics coming down from the wall, and the kids can sit down and they'll be covered in strings of lights. I believe that there's going to be a video screen. And that just helps them either calm down, or that just helps them focus on the next portion of their classroom. For families with children with special needs, this room is going to mean that we've created a space for you, and you're welcome here. And the same way our church motto is no place like home, I feel like this room speaks to we're all inclusive. And we don't just cater to, we try our best to cater to all needs. And this is going to be a space where they can come and they can call their own. We do not want to turn any kid away. Prior to this, because we were landlocked and we were limited with space, now we open up the Champions Club, and we have a space where we can, the kids can be ministered to, and God has a special plan for all these children. An angel look just like